Ma'am, stop resisting and get on the
I'm
ground.
not resisting. My hands are visible.
You're being combative. Get down now.
Officer, I'm a sitting appellate judge. You are making a very serious mistake.
I don't care who you say you are. Get on the ground.
My hands are empty. I am not a threat.
Evelyn Hart had always known her hair was a little different. When she was younger, teachers called it coppery or strawberry blonde. Her mother said sunset ginger because she thought that sounded poetic. But in school hallways and locker rooms, kids used other words. Carrot top, firehead, rusty. Her hair, though, always did. It was soft and shoulder length, a gentle reddish ginger sheen that caught light in ways Evelyn didn't always appreciate. She'd considered dyeing it countless times. Some summers, she even bought the brown box dye and held it in the bathroom, twisting it in her hands like it was a bomb she wasn't sure she was brave enough to detonate. But she never opened it. Now, at 21, newly moved into a small studio apartment in the city, she felt freer than she had in her entire life. No parents checking up on her, no classmates whispering behind her back, no boyfriend telling her what he preferred. She had a job at a little cafe, a handful of friends, and a sudden burning, impossible urge to do something that would mark a clean slate for herself. Something radical. Something that had nothing to do with pleasing anyone else. One night, after a long shift, she stood in front of her bathroom mirror under the humming fluorescent light. She separated sections of her reddish ginger hair with her fingers, imagining it gone. Evelyn wanted something symbolic, loud, fearless. She wanted to shave her head. Fully. Completely. As soon as the idea formed fully, she felt her stomach flip in that electrifying, terrifying way that meant she needed to do it. Not someday. Not eventually. Tomorrow. As she approached the salon, a sleek glass storefront with a bright leafy logo, her hands trembled slightly. Inside, a few stylists were busy. She saw green capes hanging neatly behind each station, the kind made of glossy PVC that reflected the overhead lights. This was really happening. She pushed the door open. "Hi there. Walk in." "Yeah," Evelyn said, her throat dry. "I want something big." Mara beamed, clearly the type who loved dramatic requests. "How big are we talking?" Evelyn swallowed. "I want to shave my head." Mara blinked once, but not in shock. More like delight. "Full head shave?" "Yeah, completely bald." "All right," Mara said with the kind of confidence that made Evelyn feel steadier. "Let's do it. Did you want to buzz it short or go all the way to smooth?" "All the way," Evelyn said, surprising herself with how firm it sounded. Mara nodded, approving. "Then we're going to take good care of you. First, let's wash your hair." Evelyn sat down in the reclining basin seat, heart hammering. The stylist gently loosened her ponytail, letting the reddish ginger hair spill downwards like a curtain falling for the last time. "You have beautiful hair," Mara said softly. "Are you sure you're ready to say goodbye to it?" Evelyn hesitated only for half a second. "Yes," she breathed. "I'm ready." The warm water cascaded over her scalp. Fingers massaged shampoo into her hair, creating thick white foam that smelled like mint and eucalyptus. It was comforting. Therapeutic. A final goodbye. The sensation made her eyes flutter shut. She felt strangely emotional, like the water was rinsing away old insecurities along with the suds. "Right this way," Mara said, guiding her to the chair. It wasn't until she sat down, staring at herself in the mirror, that the reality of it really hit. Mara grabbed a green PVC cape, the kind that was shiny like polished jade, and swirled it around her shoulders. It crackled softly as it settled over her. She fastened it around Evelyn's neck with a clean white neck strip, then smoothed the plastic with her palms. "How's that?" Mara asked. "You look ready." Mara smiled. "Let's get started." Instead, she took a pair of sharp silver scissors and gently released the towel from Evelyn's head. Her wet, reddish ginger hair fell against the cape, deepening to a darker shade as the water soaked in. "I like to do one symbolic cut," Mara said. "If you want." Evelyn nodded. "Go for it." Mara gathered a thick section of hair right from the center, twisted it lightly, and positioned the scissors. Snip. The sound was soft but decisive, like a string snapping. A long section of ginger hair slid down the cape, curling against the glossy surface before sliding into Evelyn's lap. Her breath caught. That was the moment. She felt it in her bones. There was no going back now, and she didn't want to. Mara snipped off more chunks, not worrying about technique. The goal wasn't to shape, but simply to clear the way. Wet locks fell rapidly, accumulating in her lap, on her shoulders, and on the floor around the chair. "You're handling this like a champ," Mara said warmly. I feel good," Evelyn admitted. Nervous, but good. "That's completely normal," Mara said, squeezing her shoulder gently through the cape. "Ready for clippers?" Evelyn nodded. Her reflection looked strange. Hair jagged and uneven, missing in large chunks, but she could already picture the final result. She felt strong. Mara grabbed the clippers. Sleek, silver black, freshly sanitized. She clicked them on. BZZZZRRRM. The vibration filled the small area around them, buzzing through Evelyn's chest like static electricity. Her whole body tingled. "Head forward," Mara instructed. Evelyn lowered her chin. She felt the warm air from the clippers hover near her skin. "Here we go," Mara said gently. The clippers slid up the back of her head, and the sound changed. Deeper, fuller as they met hair. Brrrr. A thick carpet of reddish ginger strands tumbled down the green PVC cape like autumn leaves sliding off glass. Evelyn inhaled sharply. It felt incredible. The vibration was soothing, ticklish, addictive. Mara moved methodically, pushing the clippers upward in smooth strokes. Inch by inch, hair came away, revealing pale skin she hadn't seen since infancy. "Wow," Evelyn whispered. "I know," Mara said softly. "It's a powerful look." The clippers continued, up the sides, along the curve of her head, behind her ears. Each pass left her lighter, freer, more exposed, but in the best way. Hair slid down the cape in rivers now. It pooled in her lap, scattered around her shoulders, clung to the glossy green material before sliding off. She couldn't stop smiling. A nervous smile, yes, but excited, thrilled, empowered. "Look at you," Mara said, tilting her chin up with a finger so she could see her reflection. "You carry this look beautifully already." Evelyn stared, mesmerized. Her head was nearly buzzed. Only soft, reddish fuzz remained. Her eyes looked larger, brighter. Her cheekbones stood out. Her neck looked longer. She felt like she was meeting a braver version of herself. "Ready for the smooth shave?" Mara asked. Evelyn nodded eagerly. Mara turned off the clippers and brushed away loose hair. Then she pumped warm shaving cream into her hand and began spreading it across Evelyn's scalp. The sensation was intense. Gentle, warm, almost intimate. Thick, velvety foam coated every exposed inch of her head. Mara massaged it in small circles, careful and thorough. Evelyn shivered in delight. "You okay?" Mara asked. "More than okay." Mara smiled knowingly and reached for a straight razor. The sleek metal glinted under the salon lights. "First stroke," Mara said softly. Deep breath. Evelyn inhaled. The razor touched the crown of her head. Slowly, precisely, Mara pulled it back. The blade glided effortlessly, slicing through the foam and leaving behind a path of smooth, bare skin. Evelyn gasped. She felt everything. The cool air touching fresh skin, the faint pressure of the razor, the soothing slide. It was hypnotic. Mara continued, stroke by careful stroke, wiping the razor clean after each pass. Thick swirls of foam mixed with tiny ginger hairs were wiped away onto a towel. "There you go," Mara murmured, gently tilting her head. Beautiful. Evelyn's heart fluttered. More strokes followed. Around the top, along the sides, around her ears, down to the nape of her neck. Each movement felt like a release, like the shedding of old layers she'd never needed. The razor whispered across her scalp. Soft, precise, liberating. When Mara reached the final section at the front hairline, Evelyn held her breath. The last physical trace of her old identity. The razor slid, and it was gone. Mara wiped her head with a warm towel, then a cool one, ensuring everything was perfectly smooth. She ran her palm over Evelyn's scalp. Feel it, Mara encouraged. Evelyn lifted her trembling hand, placed her fingertips against her skin, and nearly melted. It was smooth, soft, bare, warm from the towels, alien and familiar at once. She laughed, bright, joyful, a little breathless. Oh my God, I love it. Mara grinned. Told you. Mara removed the green PVC cape in one swift motion. The hair that had clung to it scattered onto the floor like ginger confetti. Evelyn stood, walked slowly to the big mirror near the front of the salon, and stared. Truly stared. Her head was completely bald, smooth and radiant. Her eyes were clearer than she'd ever seen them. Her features looked sharper, more confident, transformed. And her smile, still a little nervous, still a little disbelieving, was the happiest she'd felt in years. She turned her head from side to side, admiring the shine of her scalp under the lights. Holy, wow, she whispered. I can't believe how cool this feels. Baldness suits you, Mara said warmly. Bold choice. Beautiful result. Evelyn touched her head again, giggling. I feel like a different person. Maybe, Mara said. Or maybe you feel like yourself for the first time. That line hit her harder than expected. She nodded. Yes, that's exactly it. Mara hugged her. Anytime you want to touch up, you know where to find me. She messaged a friend a photo. The friend responded, OMG, you look amazing. What made you do it? Evelyn typed slowly. Because I wanted to stop caring what people think. Because I wanted to start over. Because I wanted to be brave. Because I wanted to be me. She smiled at the photo, at herself,